Why forgiving yourself is the ultimate act of modern spiritual sovereignty. Imagine the city's relentless pace softening, not stopping, but shifting into something melodic. Traffic becomes percussion, neon becomes breath. The skyline hums like a living organism, and somewhere inside it, so do you. This is not escape. This is recalibration. This is the same frequency carried through RichardTai's sound, where cinematic urban vistas meet Afro-Soul depth, where drone footage rises through fog-covered skylines, and something unseen begins to reveal itself. If you've ever felt held by a sound you couldn't explain, you've already touched it. Explore the full sonic world at www.richardtai.com and experience the visual dimension through exclusive drone footage. Link in bio. Self-forgiveness enters here not as apology, but as authorship. The anatomy of modern guilt and digital burden. We are living inside a system that never stops reflecting us back to ourselves. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have turned comparison into atmosphere. Not something you visit, something you breathe. And layered beneath that, a quieter tension. The rise of tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney introduces a new kind of pressure. The feeling that you are being outpaced, optimized against, measured by invisible metrics. So guilt evolves. It's no longer just about what you did, it's about who you should have been by now. And every time you replay an old version of yourself, you lose energy in the present. You are not just remembering the past, you are powering it. The rhythm of internal release. There is a point where thinking stops working, where logic loops, where awareness becomes awareness of being stuck. This is where sound becomes medicine. Afro-Soul is not just genre, it is pattern interruption, a return to rhythm as regulation. This is the architecture behind RichardTai's work. Melody as release, repetition as reprogramming, voice as grounding. A line repeats, a tone lingers, a frequency settles into your body before your mind can resist it. From a scientific lens, this aligns with neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated experience. What you hear consistently, you begin to believe. What you feel rhythmically, you begin to embody. This is why certain songs don't just sound good, they shift you. Defining spiritual sovereignty. Forgiveness has been framed as something soft, but self-forgiveness, that is power. It is the moment you stop asking for permission to evolve. The moment you stop negotiating with who you used to be. The moment you realize, no one is coming to validate your transformation, and no one needs to. You become the authority, not perfect, but self-defined. Not finished, but in command of your direction. That is sovereignty. Astrological integration, the cosmic mirror. There is a language older than words that speaks to this process. In astrology, Saturn represents the weight, the lessons, the consequences, the structure. Pluto represents transformation, the endings that make rebirth possible. Self-forgiveness lives between them. When you hold on to guilt, you are stuck in Saturn unintegrated, discipline without compassion. When you release and transform, you activate Pluto, destruction as evolution. You are not meant to carry every version of yourself forward. Some identities were only meant to get you here. Integration in the urban jungle. The city will not pause for your healing. So your power becomes learning how to remain centered while everything moves. This is where the practice becomes real. A breath before reaction. A sound that grounds you mid-chaos. A conscious interruption of self-criticism. Even something as simple as pressing play, letting a track from RichardTai recalibrate your internal state, becomes an act of self-governance. Because you are choosing your frequency instead of inheriting the one around you. The sovereign reality. When you release shame, your presence shifts. You move with less hesitation. You create with less fear. You speak without constantly editing yourself, because there is no longer an internal system punishing you for existing. There is space, and in that space, clarity. This is what RichardTai's work points toward. Not just music, but state change. Not just visuals, but perspective elevation. From fog-covered skylines to inner stillness, the message is consistent. You were never meant to stay where you broke. Closing, the return to self. Self-forgiveness is not weakness. It is not avoidance. It is not forgetting. It is the most radical form of independence available to you. Because the moment you release yourself from the past, you become ungovernable by it. And in a world that profits from your doubt, your comparison, your delay, choosing peace, choosing yourself, choosing to move forward anyway, that is sovereignty.